Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Road to the GOAT series. And we need a couple more wins before we advance to the greatest of all time league. We're almost there, and we are going, of course, with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And my opponent has the classic Miami Heat team, consisted of Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh, and a plethora of other guys. So this team is not a bad choice, but it's a team that I rarely see used and played now online. So it should be a very interesting matchup to say the least. So as I said earlier in the video, we only need 2 more victories to advance to the greatest of all time league, and we are going with the Oklahoma City Thunder. You guys know this is my tier 1 go-to team. This team fits me perfectly just because they have the ability to play defense and the ability to shoot the ball pretty well. A lot of the players on the team have easy jump shots, and it's easy to get to the paint with these guys as well. So that's why they're my go-to tier 1 team, but I've talked about them plenty times before in previous videos. And let's talk about this Miami Heat team. I believe this is the 11-12 Miami Heat team. I'm not too sure, I can't remember, but we know it consists of LeBron James, the big 3, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. And this team also has Ray Allen on it. And when I played with this team, I like their roster, but one key piece that they were missing was Chris Anderson. I don't know why Chris Anderson was not on the team. I guess 2K doesn't have the rights to put him in the game, or he didn't want to be put in the game. Well, basically the same thing. And they were basically missing Chris Anderson, and the Heat don't really have a true center on that team except for Chris Anderson, and that's why I think he is a key piece for this Miami Heat team. But in some cases you don't really need him, but it would definitely help to have him on that team, because if you're going up against a true center, maybe like Brook Lopez, well, Brook Lopez likes to shoot threes now, but a center who has a very good post game or likes to get physical down low in the paint, maybe DeAndre Jordan, it's going to be a struggle if you have that Heat team going up against the Nets, because if your opponent is smart enough, he could take advantage of your bigs down low. I mean, who can you put down low like that? Maybe Sane Battier or Rashard Lewis, and you definitely don't want to put the fake player like the Williams player in at center, because that's just easy pickings for the opponent. So that's one area of concern for this Miami Heat team, but I would still choose them though. And that's just a general issue about me and classic teams, is that some teams don't have their full roster, and it kind of leads to you having to play the starting 5 for the entire game. And there is going to come a point in time where your starting 5 is tired, and you may need to burn a couple timeouts that you didn't want to, or you may have to take your starting 5 out. And if you're going up against another good classic team, like let's say that 16-17 Golden State Warriors team, you really don't want to take out your starting 5 against those guys, because the Warriors could get on a run pretty quickly. But again, it all depends on who you're going up against, the strategy you are running that game, and a couple of other factors. But let's get back to the game here. I have a nice little sizable lead. I'm doing a good job here. I'm surprised my opponent has brought in the reserves, the Williams reserves, I like to call them, and to give a couple of the other starters a rest, or it seems like his substitutions were a bit weird. I truly don't know if it was for rest, but that's what I'm going to assume. And because of that, we're able to get off to such a huge lead, because once he takes those starters out, just like I was saying before, this Heat team, their reserves and bench players, or reserves or bench players, aren't really deep. And so with this Oklahoma City Thunder team, we could take advantage of that pretty quickly. Kevin Durant knocking down some threes here. So this first quarter has been absolutely fantastic for us. So with the first half winding down, we're up by 10 points. My opponent is on offense, trying to play the best defense that we can, and we do on that possession. But Dwayne Wade ends up getting the steal and making the basket over Russell Westbrook. So 3.4 seconds remaining in the first half. Kevin Durant, green release in the corner of the court for a three-pointer, and we hit that shot, making the score 30-19 heading into halftime. And you can see that we're shooting 57% compared to my opponent 40%. So that must mean two things. The offense must be clicking and the defense is looking good if we're holding my opponent to 40% shooting. And all we have to do is just keep up this momentum we had in the first half, and it really shouldn't be too hard. My opponent, talk about his game plan like we always do with every opponent in every video. Nothing really special. Defense was a little bit crazy. Well, not really crazy. He came out in the zone and we just shot the lights out in this building. And his offense wasn't nothing spectacular. We had everything on lock. So far, a pretty good game for us, but you never know what could happen. Nasty crossover by LeBron James. But yeah, you never know what could happen in the final fourth quarter. And my opponent is definitely in striking distance. As long as you're down by like 10 points in the fourth quarter, you could definitely make a comeback, especially if you feel like your opponent has been getting lucky shots or that he is not supposed to be up by 10 points and you think the lead should be a lot less, or you think you should even have the lead. So it's just really about staying in striking position. But my opponent, he's still fighting, but we're still trying to pull away, and my opponent, he scores a bucket. 37-26 now. I'm back on offense. We're getting settled down into our offense. A little bit of a slow tempo, running the play here, seeing what we could find. Kevin Durant, pick and roll. I get down low into the paint, but I kick it back out. I say I'm going to take this with Russell Westbrook. We dump it off, down low to big Kendrick Perkins, and he throws it down with two hands. Once again, we're back on offense. We aren't doing anything really special either. Oop up, but we missed the alley-oop attempt, and we are fortunate enough to get the offensive rebound back. Russell Westbrook for three. I'm telling you, in the last video I said I still like to shoot with Russell Westbrook, even though he can't shoot that well from beyond the three-point line. But if he's left wide open, I'm going to shoot that. Westbrook again. This time it's in the mid-range area and we just extend our lead. Close to 20 points now. Kevin Durant on the fast break dunk. And that's going to push our lead to 20 points now with about a minute remaining in the third quarter. Or I should say about a minute 30 remaining in the third quarter. But my opponent gets the bucket right back. So as soon as we get on a bit of a run, my opponent, he gets on a bit of a run himself, and now he's just trying to chip away at the lead. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, they're all scoring in this quarter for him, and I really haven't done anything after that Kevin Durant dunk. And just looking at this video, I just realized that Chris Bosh has his takeover, and I really don't know how he got his takeover. I mean, we haven't really seen any highlights of Chris Bosh in this video, except maybe towards the beginning of the game, but that was just about it. And we are still going to work on offense. Derek Fisher to the rim, missed the layup, but Serge Ibaka, is there for the cleanup. So we have a pretty sizable lead. Ray Allen attempts that jump shot, but it's not gonna go because we were right there to contest on him. But yeah, we have a pretty good, decent lead, and surprisingly, my opponent hasn't quit yet. And maybe that's because we are in the higher seedings or in the higher leagues, and guys really don't want to quit out of games. They feel like they could make a comeback, and I can't blame them. I would feel like I could make a comeback too, but the way we are shooting that ball right now, it's going to be hard to make a comeback against me. We got Westbrook shooting, Harden shooting, Kevin Durant shooting. If all three of those guys could shoot the ball pretty efficiently, I really don't need no one else on the team to shoot the ball. I just need those other guys to play defense, and that's just about it. Less than 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Look at the shot right here. James Harden, green release in the corner. I'm telling you, the corner is the easiest spot to shoot from. And our lead is back up to 20 points now. There was really nothing my opponent could do in this match. Good three by LeBron James there, and that was a big shot for him, but it's coming a little too late in this game. Dwayne Wade with that patented Euro step layup, getting it to go, but like I said, it's a little too late in the game. My opponent, it's going to be hard to make a 20-point comeback, 18-point comeback. And when you leave Kevin Durant that wide open, come on, you know we have to hit that. I really don't know what my opponent was doing on defense, but he was leaving us open, and it led to easy shots, and it leads to another easy victory for us. So that means we only have one game to win in the Hall of Fame League. And at this point, my opponent had enough. I was just greening way too many shots for his liking. And I think he might have checked out the stats or something. And then after that, he just called it quits. After that, Westbrook mid-range where I greened that jump shot, he had enough. So we pick up another victory, only needing one more victory to advance to the greatest of all time league. And it shouldn't be too hard, hopefully. But you never know what can happen. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.